Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is where we love to talk with you, right here on Pittsburgh CW and 93.7 The Fan as we simulcast on the radio. Bob Pompeani here, Chris Mueller up at 93.7 The Fan as we welcome you in and invite you to call us on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, which is 412-575-2600. Baseball owners and players, Chris, continue to meet all day. Marathon session. What took so long, number one, because they had 3 months ahead of this and hardly any movement whatsoever. And now we hear talk that the owners want a 14-team playoff. You know, they make all their money in the postseason, and really the regular season, not television-wise, doesn't really even matter in the long term. It's about those postseason numbers. So I don't think you're going to see anything happen the rest of this night or tomorrow or anytime soon. What's your feel for what's going on with MLB and this collective bargaining?
My feel is that the owners don't actually care. I think earlier I read a report that said they were willing to wipe out a month of the season to get what they wanted here. They always try to crush the players underfoot. You asked at the very beginning, though, Bob. You said, what took so long? They met all day? Let's see. The owners locked out the players on, I believe, December 2nd. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to do that, by the way. There was still a year left. They exercised their option to lock out, or they could have played while negotiating in good faith. It's happened in other sports. Then I believe they waited something like 43 days to actually make a meaningful counterproposal or proposal, whichever it was. So one party here did the work stoppage, and then showed no interest whatsoever for almost, 6 weeks in doing anything about it? If you're concerned about a lack of urgency and what took so long, you can ask the 30 people that own teams in this league.
I agree with that, and I think, what they don't understand, at least not clearly enough, is that the players make up the show, and it's the show that you're selling, and so they should get more in terms of revenue versus what the owners get. If you look at other sports, it's distributed a lot more evenly. We know there's not going to be a salary cap or a floor, any of that, but at least come to that recognition that without those players, you don't have a product at all. And
they are the product.
They are the product.
They are, here's the distinction. Like in other businesses where you might have labor versus management and union in this kind of power struggle, there's usually a product that gets created. UAW workers create automobiles, right? You look at any other thing. Teachers educate children, obviously, so the education itself teachers are closer to the players in this situation, but you know what I mean. The players quite literally are the product. There's not cars being made here. They're not fabricating anything. They're it. The owners don't care about this, of course, which is why most of the concessions that they've even considered making aren't substantive. I mean, to them, I think if I could say one thing about this that would try to get it through people's heads, and I think in this town people do feel this way, but not everywhere. The owner of your baseball team, in most cases, truly does not care if the team wins or loses. That's in markets where the team is often good. That's in markets where the team is often bad. It is a piece of a portfolio for most of these people now, and they're treating it as such, including in these negotiations. So if you're wondering, don't they care? They're alienating fans. They're so tone deaf. No, because for them it's just another piece of a puzzle. Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're all billionaires, because they go through these kinds of things on a regular basis. All right, we'll see how it goes. Meantime, there was a report today, and these are not unusual names on Pro Football Talk, and I forget who actually did it, but the report was that 3 quarterbacks are on the Steelers' radar as free agents: Trubisky, Bridgewater, and Winston. Now, we've mentioned all these names. For me, it's Trubisky. I know Andrew likes Jameis Winston. I'm not sure who you prefer in free agency. There's also talk about potential trades, which I don't think are going to happen. But of those 3, which do you think makes most sense if the Steelers do sign one?
Well, I'd have to know, or I'd love to know, what their draft plan would be for the 20th overall pick, because if they were going to take their quarterback of the future there, then Bridgewater is the only one of the 3 that you just named who really makes sense, because Bridgewater is pretty much a known commodity at this year. He is a, pardon the pun, bridge quarterback. I don't think he signs in a place expecting at this juncture of his professional career, expecting to be the man, even if he has a pretty good season. If Winston came in here, just for instance, Bob, and you were planning on drafting a quarterback at 20 as well, and say Winston comes in and throws 35 touchdowns and 10 picks, which is not outside the realm of possibility, then he's going to want a mega deal, right? And you're not going to want to go and say, well, we're handing the reins to a rookie. Similarly, if Trubisky even, I know he's had a real checkered career, but he was the number 2 overall pick. If he comes in here and has a great season, you're not going to want to hand the reins over to a rookie. So if you're going to draft a rookie, it's got to be Bridgewater. Of the other 2, though, who I think are obviously more talented players than Bridgewater, give me Winston. He can't move around like Trubisky can, but I've seen Jameis Winston put up big baller numbers, even with the interceptions. I'll roll the dice that he can cut those out.
All right, when we come back, we'll open up the phone lines for these topics. We'll also get into the Penguins and a big weekend for them. Plus, going to show you the play of the night in the NBA, and it's an interesting one, featuring a former Pitt Panther, albeit here for just 1 year. We'll get into that and more as we continue. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're live on Pittsburgh's CW and 93.7 The Fan.